Assalamualaikum and good greetings. So today I'll be watching a video titled "Our First Mosque in Malaysia Showed Us a New World!" Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. This is by a channel called NobuShun WORLD. This is a Japanese guy or a group, because I have watched several of their video and normally it's about food, right? In Malaysia. So these are some bunch of Japanese guys that are currently in Malaysia, experiencing Malaysia, and in this video they visit a mosque, I believe, for the first time based on the title. So I'm interested to know what they have to say about it. Without further ado, let's watch.
Hari ini Masjid Putra Bari kirek.
So the first part is hari ini, meaning today in Malay, right? So Masjid Putra is Masjid Putra.
NobuShun WORLD はいどうも
はいどうも
はいどうもこんにちは皆さん。
じゃあ、
本日はですね、
はい
フトラジャヤケールからちょっと離れたところなんですけど、そこのピンクモスク、めっちゃ
ピンクモスク
有名なモスクがあるんですけど、そこに招待されて
お
イベントかなんかあるのかな。そこでモスクの観光とイフタールを食べに行きたいと思います。
はい行きます
ジョンプレイ。来ましたー。
やばいやばいやばい
すげえ
王国みたいだね。
すごい
すごいね。
でかっ。
うわ。
はい、フトラジャヤに着きました。
はい
めっちゃ綺麗ここ。綺麗で広くてすごくてすごい。
イベントは5時半からですね。
もうすぐ。
はい。
今からジャランジャランするらしいです。
オッケー。すごいいろんなとこありそうだ。めっちゃ楽しみだ。
めちゃくちゃ人多い。
日本人です。
めっちゃ。Yes. Yeah, I'm so hungry now. Hungry and
So
thirsty.
you didn't take anything, no drinks, no food?
Yeah, of course, of course.
嘘じゃないです。
嘘じゃないです。嘘じゃない。
Okay, yeah, of course. For those who are not familiar, I believe for anyone watching this, most of you are from Malaysia, so you are familiar with this. But for those, if you are not from Malaysia, this is one of, because Putrajaya is where the, how to say, is like the administrative center where all many government buildings, etc. is there. And the masjid here is bigger than normal, right? It's big. It's normal for big mosque, but there are only a few big mosques like this in the whole country, right? So we have in Shah Alam, we have in maybe in Masjid Negara in KL and Putrajaya and several places, and it's also how to say, a spectacle as well, right? Not just a functioning masjid, but also, you know, with some architectural design. And that's number one. Number two, that's why it can become like a tourist attraction. As for normal Muslim is a mosque or as a masjid, but for tourists it can also be a tourist attraction. Number two, also because of that they have, like, you know, people assigned to you know, to cater for tourists or visits, etc. like this. And I think normal masjid throughout the country most probably would not have that dedicated person to cater for that, right? So just to put in context.
This mosque is quite unique because of its color, it's pink. So any of you have an idea why it's pink in color?
I think this area's building is all pink color, so maybe.
You almost get it, but it's not the answer.
いろいろな意味が込められてるらしいです。
人が
めっちゃ広いね、まず。
広いね。
ムスリムの方が多いからかもしれないけど、色が綺麗。
色が綺麗。RPG のゲームの中の世界みたいな感じでいいね、これは。
日本だったら絶対ないもんね、こんな綺麗な。
そうだね。
Where we get the idea to get this shape from? It is from a vegetable called okra. Yeah, if you cut okra, you get this shape. And then
Yeah, in terms of the size, because as I mentioned earlier of the size, right? One of the reason why masjid like this have it almost required to have a massive size like this is because the whole of Putrajaya, of course there are several masjid in Putrajaya, I think, right? The two big ones, this one and Masjid Besi, the other one. And normally I went to the other one because that's closer to the buildings where normally I have meetings, etc., etc. This one is a bit far for the, but if, from my experience, because last week for Jumaah prayer I prayed in the masjid, the other one, it's almost full also, right? Even though if you look in normal, okay, it's almost full in Jumaah prayer, in the Friday prayer, of course, but in other 5 daily prayers I doubt it is, you know, that full, of course. Anyway,
This life is a joke.
Oh.
You don't get it. Now you get it.
主より面白くないやつおったでどうですか、あの人のジョークは。
つまんないです。
すごいな。めちゃくちゃ綺麗ですね。
In Islam, if you try to imagine, that means that's not a creator, that's a creation. So that's why we don't have any idol. We just pray to Kami Sama. We don't need statue or idol. Just directly to Kami Sama. So that's why we don't have it.
なるほど。
So now you understand better, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It's not joke.
It's not joke anymore. My joke is finished.
Yeah, yes.
一応このエリアを見終わって次は下に降ります。
でっかいもある。地下2階。地下2階。やば。図書館
だってあれ。図書館。
なんで？
わかんない。これが図書館です。
okay, so this part I have never been to the library below it because I have been, of course, to the prayer hall shown earlier. Downstairs normally we just go to the ablution, the wudu place to make ablution or wudu, or for the bathroom, right? I have never entered this side, I think, in terms of the library. Perpustakaan.
わあ、すげえ。
So you can come here, do your editing, you do your, just bring your laptop. The visiting hours is around 9 a.m. until in evening 4 p.m.
今度からここで編集します。すごいね、なんか久しぶりに涼しい。めちゃくちゃ涼しい。博物館みたいな。博物館、あとなんかいい匂いしない？
いい匂いする。
すごい。食い
？What？チョコレート。
あったけど、今断食中なので食べれません。
That is true. But if you go to the Tabla, 602, 603, until 720, and also we have such personal. Thank you so much. Please come.
すごいめっちゃ勉強になった。勉強になったね。
長い授業が終わりました。
Long, long.
これから10分前ですね、もうイフタールの。そうですね。みんなでここでご飯を食べれるらしいんで。いや、ここじゃない。上に上がって。
どんなご飯出るんだろう。楽しみだ。
楽しみなんで。
2人めっちゃ楽しみ。
行きますか。じゃあ。
行きましょう。
じゃん。バカン。疲れたよ。もうお腹空いたよ。
正直今日の一番の楽しみはイフタールなんで。
イフタールだけが今の人生の楽しみ。
いやそうマジで。イフタール楽しみ。
わ、すごい綺麗だ。めっちゃ綺麗。すごい、ほら見た。
超綺麗。
インスタも写真撮ろう。
インスタの写真。
Yeah, in terms of the location, obviously this is located at the lake, right? So if you go and take pictures, the surrounding is very nice, and also it is, you know, next to the administrative building. I think that is it administrative or the judiciary. I'm not sure. Okay, but if you go to the other mosque, the other big mosque in Putrajaya, which is the Masjid Besi, right? I'm not sure how to translate that. On the upper floor, surrounding the prayer hall is like how to say, it's like a pool of water, right? So that's also nice to look at, because here of course you do not need that, perhaps because you already have the lake, but there you have just beside you like the pool of water. So it's also nice and quite a scenery.
ディズニーランドみたいじゃない？確かに。This is ディズニーランド。これ冗談抜きで俺マレーシア来た中で一番綺麗まであるわ。正直。
ね、いや綺麗度で言ったら、あと感動するよね。
ビューティフルチャンティックパリンチャンティックパリンチャンティックパリンチャンティック。
Wait, the azan have when the azan is there, it doesn't it's already Maghrib, and shouldn't they be breaking fast already? Why are they still outside?
すごい。めちゃくちゃみんな揃ってる。
フルートプラスです。これ。
楽しみ。ゼロ。
Fish curry, and that one is vegetarian.
Oh, is it because they are not a Muslim and hence they have to wait after the Muslim already? I'm not sure.
You have to choose vegetarian or change.
可以打开让他们拍呀，可以打开。
I'll try.
Oh, so I think this is for visitors or tourists, right? Because there's vegetarian, etc. For Muslim, we do not have that separation.
カリーパフを手に入れました。よっしゃ。食べますか。やらせてください。いただきまかん。
いただきます初めてのモスクイフタール
ね。初めてのモスクイフタールね。
お弁当形式。
手タレ飲みます。
手タレとかもある。あ、美味しい。普通のもう屋台とかと一緒で。このカレーパンも。
全部これ無料なんですかね。
無料。
まあ、あったかい出来たてで。
Okay, watching this while fasting is not a good idea. Now my stomach is.
はい。弁当が2種類あって、僕はベジタリアンのやつを選びました。みかんと米と豆腐と野菜の煮込んだやつ。
はい、こんにちは。僕が選んだのはイカンカリー。
あ、でも美味しそうだね。
イカンカリー、まあシンプルです。
左右ナシプティイカンカリー。
後ろにはピンクモスクが見えます。
バリ綺麗。
バリ綺麗。
ライトアップ。
こんな日が来るとは。
ライトアップ綺麗。先ほど知り合った日本人の。
どうもこっちで学生をやっております小池と申します。
小池さん
YouTube 初出演初出演です
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
小池さんはイカンカリーの
イカンカリーいただきます。
手タレも初めて。
手タレも初めてですね。手タレが
初手タレ。
あーいいっすね。
いいっすね。
あったまるわ。
あったまる。ありがとうございます。
Now I'm wondering, how do they, get accustomed to teh tarik? Because teh tarik is very sweet. Malaysian teh tarik is very sweet. And from my experience back when I was in Japan for a bit, it seems that they do not really, drink sweet water. That when someone actually from my family, actually when a visitor meaning we rent a house basically, our family, and then got a visit from a Japanese friend, and we make some tea, and then my sister make a mistake of putting a bit of sugar. It's just a bit, because my father said no, they do not drink with sugar. For us, that amount of sugar is not sufficient to change the taste from bland to sweet, right? We couldn't even taste it. But when the Japanese friend drink it, they say, wow, this is so sweet. So I have the perception then that they are very sensitive to sweet, because normally they do not have any sugar in their drink. But looking at Japanese here drinking teh tarik, because teh tarik is so sweet, I also it's too sweet for me. So if they can drink it, so it's quite interesting.
いいね、美味しい。
まだ食べてない。
食べてない。
残念。
何これ。あ、そう。
おたおたっぽい。
おたおたって何？
魚つのすり身。
いただきます。あれだ。もち米みたいなやつの中にちょっと辛い魚のすり身が入ってる。
美味しい。
お、 美味しくはない
美味しくはない美味しくはないんだ
言っちゃった
言っちゃった
Yeah, I think that's not for everyone. I think that's pulut panggang or something, is it? Because one is it's just rice, and inside that I'm not sure, but which one is this? But it's personally it doesn't suit my taste, so I normally do not eat that one. So I was anticipating what he would say about it, because normally in some of the videos that I have watched in the past, they always say, "Oh, delicious," etc. So I'm anticipating whether he would say it's still delicious, even though it might not suit his taste. But he said, "No, it's good."
じゃあこれ食ってみろ
どうぞ
豆腐いいの
サフダンさよ
味がない薄い
でも美味しい
素材の味
素材の味
味付けない
Yeah, it's bland. If you just eat those on their own, it's just tastes like water, right?
いただきます
何
やっぱ俺チキンの方が好きだわカレーは美味しい、いやうまいけどやっぱ屋台のやつに慣れちゃってる
屋台のやつがうますぎるからちょっとそれと比べたいな出来たてだしにいつもそう高速2回乗らなきゃいけないドリアンの味ドリアン he don't like ドリアンチャレンジドリアンファーストタイム
リアクション
マジで嫌だわ本当に嫌
マレーシアの伝統的な味
うわバレあわこれ
Tidak boleh.
マジでやばいわこれこれ
Yeah, durian is very, either you really like it or you don't like it. There's no middle ground, I think, right? Of course, I love it, but I have seen people, even some Malay, that could not stand it. So yeah.
どうでした中が綺麗だったね日本の建物ではないからこんな神秘的な建物がないからすごい感動したわその後みんなで集まってご飯食べたら絶対楽しいありがとうございました
ありがとうございました
ありがとうございましたどうでしたか皆さん
素晴らしかったです綺麗でした
綺麗だった
ゲームの世界みたいだったね
僕は人生初のモスクだったんで
はい
結構衝撃でしたね心が落ち着くね
うん
綺麗でわーってなるいい場所だ
帰ってゆっくり寝ますか
はい
はい
イフタールも美味しかったですありがとうございます
ありがとうございました OK そうジェパラギー
ジェ
So I believe that's the video basically. Yeah, I think this is the first video that I haven't watched that many videos of them, but I've watched some of this. For whatever reason, there's a lot of Japanese in Malaysia doing videos, and most of them are about food, about our food. And I've watched several of them, enjoying the food. And this is the first video that I watched them where they do not have that expression of really enjoying the food, right? But yeah, those kind of packed food is normally, you for iftar especially, also you how to say, you enjoy the food and it's enjoyable because it's breaking fast, right? You're hungry, etc. But if you like he said, if you compare to the bazaar of Ramadan, etc., obviously it's no comparison. But anyway, that's it for today. Interesting to know people's opinion about masjid, and I'm not sure whether they observe the prayer, right? Meaning after the iftar, when all the Muslim goes inside and do the salat, the prayer. Have they seen it before? And because I'm interested actually if that can be, part of the experience. What do you think about that? But anyway, because just added point, Islam is not about the building, it's about the people, right? And of course the building can be an attraction like that masjid in Putrajaya, but the people, the community, the act of worship, I think that's the thing that separates. Because beautiful building, you have churches, you have many different religions that have many different interesting buildings. So yeah, it can be an initial attraction, but I think the spiritual aspect, the act of worship aspect, that is what, you know, I'm interested to see how people react. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching. See you next time.